triangle. I think I'll write these down because of the way the document camera goes back and forth so clumsily. So I'll write this down. 4.1, number 4. So it has a base, 3 inches, and a diagonal 5 inches, and we have to find the area. So that was number 4. And then number 9, I got emailed. So here's we have a kite. His kite takes off and soars. He lets out all 150 feet of string. There's a slight breeze, and the spectator 120 feet from the student notices that the kite is directly over her. So unlike a real kite, this math question kite has a string going in a straight line from the student to the kite. How high is the kite from the ground? So the string is 150 feet long, and that makes the diagonal in a right triangle because the student's right underneath, 120 feet away. So, okay, we'll go ahead and look at that one in a bit. And then number 15 as well, the railroad track one. So on this railroad track problem, the railroad track was a mile long, and then it expanded by 4 feet because of the change in temperature and buckled up. So it has to figure out how high it buckled up. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to the document camera. So first one, we have to find the area of a right triangle. So first we need the height, because the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height, and we don't know the height. So the height's the straight up and down length. The hypotenuse is slanted, and so it's not the height. So here's the height over here. So this time H stands for height, not hypotenuse. So in the a squared plus b squared equals c squared, the a is a 3, or that could be b. The b is unknown, and c is 5. So a or b can switch places, but the c has to be the hypotenuse, in this case 5. So you have 3 squared, which is 9, 5 squared, which is 25, and then we'll subtract 9 from both sides of the equation. So b squared is 16, and then we'll take the square root of both sides of the equation. So the square root of 16 is 4. So that's just the height, but now that you know the height, then you can find the area. So the area is 1/2 times the 3, that's the base, times the height, which is 4. So the base and the height are never the hypotenuse, because the hypotenuse is slanted. And that would be 6. Anybody have any questions on number 4? The next one, number 9, then we have this kite flying and the student looking up 120 feet away from the student actually holding the kite, and see that that makes a right angle then. So we can find what this is. The legs of the right triangle are 120 and x, and the hypotenuse is the 150, because that's opposite the right angle. So use a calculator here. So we'll go ahead and square the 120 and the 150, and then subtract 144. Rather 14,400 from both sides of the equation. So So b squared is 8100, and we'll take the square root of both sides and get 90. So the kite is 90 feet in the air. And then last, the train. So this was 1 mile track, which is 5,280 feet. And then this is a mile plus 4 when it buckles up in the middle. So a mile plus 4, 5,284 feet. But that's actually split in half, half on each side of this right triangle right here. So half of 5,280, that's 2,640. And half of 5,284, that's 2,642. So we'll use the Pythagorean theorem again, and this time the hypotenuse is 2,642, so that has to be the c squared. So 2640 squared plus the b squared is 2642 squared. Does anybody want to see that worked out more to get the actual x? Okay, so let's go ahead and work that out. So we have 2,640 and we square it. We get 6,000, well, I don't know, I'll write all the digits down, then I can figure out what it is. Okay, so 6,969,600. Over here, 2642 squared. $6,980,164, and then we'll subtract. We're trying to get that b squared by itself, so we subtract the other value. So b squared is 10,564. Take the square root of both sides here. $102.78. So that's quite a buckle that railroad track made. 102 feet in the air from 4 feet of expansion over the course of a mile. And you all had different numbers, so if yours didn't work out and you want to send me the work that you did on your problem, I'll be glad to look at it and see why it didn't work out okay. Does anybody have any other questions? These are just the ones I had gotten emailed. Okay. The other thing I wanted to make a note to remind myself, to remind you, is that the platonic solids will be used